Good morning, and welcome to Morning Mindset. My name is Michelle Dale. We are inside Virtual CoWorking Space, where we help virtual assistants to level up in their business, lifestyle, and mindset. I'm absolutely exhausted today. I was just telling Karen, hi Karen, that I've been on an online banking app. I will not mention the name of the bank, but I've been on an online banking app. It's one of these fintech ones since 8:30 yesterday morning, and I've been picked up and dropped by so many people. And I know it's all for a reason. I'm just trying to figure out what that reason is. But anyway, we are here and we are continuing or doing the final installment of our Manifest Anything. And this is where I wanted to kind of really bring the last 3 days together and summarize them and kind of put them all, in relation to our daily accountability. So when we do daily accountability, I want you to know that there are many different ways that you can view it and perceive it and see it. And you have to find a way that really feels good to you and feels right to you. Now, when we do our daily accountability, we talk about focusing on goals and things like that. And you can either decide, right, I'm just going to focus on one big goal, or alternatively, you can do what we've been talking about now, and you can decide to switch things up. And I'm going to show you what that looks like as part of our daily accountability now. So on the first day, on Sunday, we opened up with information about placing the order. So you write something down that you want, you commit it to paper. And then the second day, we talked about visualizing and going to the end and seeing the end result. So don't try and reverse engineer the goal at this point. The reverse engineering does tend to happen organically if it needs to. So basically what we're looking at there is just creating the visualization and going to the end result and just holding on to it until it feels real, until it feels like in the knowing, until it feels like in the I have received this already. And then yesterday we talked about planning and forgetting, which is about what action you then need to take. And funnily enough, forgetting about something, not forgetting about it as in, well, I forgot about the flowers, but forgetting about it as in, you don't need to focus on it anymore if you don't want to, is part of that. So how does this fit in with our accountability? So obviously when we do our daily accountability, we're first of all looking at gratitude. Then we go into our goal, so reading our goal out loud. Then we go into the visualization, and then we go into taking action, right? So those are 4 things that are part of the daily accountability, but those 4 things are also what we've been talking about this week. So placing your order is essentially deciding what you want. Placing your order is the goal. It's deciding the end goal. So if you are in a situation right now where you want to switch up your accountability a little bit, then do this. Just start trying to focus it on smaller things that are going to make you happy rather than the pressure of that big picture, like, got to make this happen type thing. So placing your order is essentially the goal. It's reading out the goal and knowing, what you want basically. And then the creative process that we talked about yesterday with the visualization is part of that, visualizing your goal. But at the same time, you can also throw in the gratitude. So once you visualize the goal, the visualizing of the goal is about going to the end. It's about going to the end result. And the way you know that you're in the end result is usually we feel grateful for things. We feel grateful for things that we have. And this is about basically feeling grateful for something that we don't yet have. So it's basically finding the gratitude and finding the gratitude feeling for already having something, because gratitude indicates you have something. I'm grateful for this. So that's where the second part with the creative visualization comes in with the gratitude, which is what we do in accountability. And then basically the final part where we talked about yesterday is asking yourself this question: is there anything else I can do now, either to prepare myself or plan for this to come into place? And if there is, then that will be your task. So we talk every day about doing a task or taking an action. So that's where the information from yesterday comes in, because let's say, for example, the task is, if you're manifesting a bouquet of flowers, your task would be to get a vase if you don't yet have one. So when you receive those flowers, you have somewhere to put them. You could also say, once I receive the flowers, I'm going to decide in my home where I'm going to put them before I've received them. You know, many things like that. So having something to put them in, finding a place for them in your home, this is all planning and preparing to receive the goal or the outcome. You don't say, when I get the flowers, I'll then find something to put them in, because that is coming from a place of I don't have them. Well, you always have to be coming from a place of I already have it. So you are preparing and planning for already having it, and that's where the action and the task comes in within our daily accountability. So if you are at the point where you can honestly sit back and ask yourself and say, right, there's nothing actually that I need to do for this manifestation, then that's fine. Your action is to let it go. Okay, your action is to move on to the next thing, because you've done everything that needs to be done. So the way we perceive and see action, yes, it can be doing something, it can be planning for something, it can be preparing for something, and that's what the action should be. Or it can also be inspired action, intuitive action. Oh, I should do that, or I've been meaning to contact that person, or I've been meaning to make that phone call, or I've been meaning to send that email, or I've been meaning to do this research. You know, if you feel intuitively pulled in a certain direction to do something, then do that. But usually manifestations will come on a subconscious level, and we'll do things automatically without really understanding or knowing that we're doing them as part of the end result. So that's where this whole thing comes into play, and we do this every day in daily accountability. So I would love for you to start thinking about how you can play around with your daily accountability. Okay, sometimes you can focus on your big picture goal. Maybe you can say to yourself, okay, on Mondays, I'm going to focus on my big picture goal, or Sundays or whatever, you know, and I'm going to think about that. But the rest of the week, maybe my goal can be to manifest a bouquet of flowers. Or maybe for the rest of the week, I can say, oh, I'd like to have a meal in a fancy restaurant, or climb a ladder, or anything like that. So it's about really playing with it. And then the more you play with these things, the more you'll start to see, like I say, these smaller manifestations coming in, and you'll get to understand and know the feeling of when things are manifesting. So this is a good thing for you to do in daily accountability, in the morning mindset, which we'll do in a second. But you don't always have to make it a big, you know, grand gesture towards your goal. You can also include smaller things as well. Or if you break your larger goal down into pieces, and we talk about reverse engineering inside the One Sourcing Mastery and things like that, then you can also kind of put together like, okay, well, this is one step of my big picture goal. I know I need to take this step, and then maybe you want to start focusing as the goal of that step rather than the big picture. So again, it doesn't mean to say that you're letting your big picture goal, you know, dissipate, or, you know, you still want it, you still are getting into the feeling of having it, and you're just simply planning and preparing for it the more you take the steps forward. So if you can see anything that you can do to plan or prepare for the outcome or the result that you're looking to achieve, then do that. So if you want to manifest a meal in a nice restaurant, go and start picking out your outfit of what you're going to wear when you go to that nice restaurant. Start thinking about what you might eat at that nice restaurant. You know, that type of thing. It's all part of that process, because you are investing that time and that energy into the end result. You know, if you're manifesting money, have an idea of what you could spend that money on, or who you're going to give that money to. Very, very important, the planning and forgetting part. But the planning and literally the letting go part, if you get to the point where you're like, no, I know this manifestation is coming in, I'm 100% ready for it, I don't need to do anything else in order to prepare myself or my environment for this manifestation, then your task is to then do the process of letting it go and just knowing it's on its way. So I hope you found that helpful. And since we've been talking about daily accountability today, get your journals at the ready because we're going to start that now. And I shall see you back here tomorrow for our Oracle card messages for the week ahead. Thank you so much, Karen, for joining me here. And if you're watching the replay, I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. Before we begin, don't forget you can join me live online inside Virtual CoWorking Space at www.virtualmissfriday.com/VCS. If you enjoy this session, give it a like. I'd love to hear from you, so write me a comment. And so you don't miss any updates, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. So now we're going to look for the positive with our gratitude. First, we'll spend 1 minute thinking of the day before, thinking of all the things that happened, reflecting on work, interactions, relationships, memorable moments, and more. Now you'll write one thing down minimum that you're grateful for. You can, of course, write down more. Something good, something that went right, a small moment or a big win. The more you search for things to be grateful for, the more you will experience things to be grateful for. Now we're going to read out your goal. Make sure your goal is written down in a journal or somewhere you can easily access it. Read your goal now, ideally out loud, and commit to this goal. Believe it will happen. And by reading this daily, the universe knows clearly what your goal is, and the things begin to shift in the direction of your goal. Follow your instincts when this happens by taking action. Now you need to see your goal in visualization. Spend this minute thinking about the goal in your mind. See yourself taking steps towards the goal, or even better still, see yourself having already achieved the goal. Close your eyes and go there. Step into the feeling, step into the place, step into the accomplishment. And finally, it's time for your most important task. Set this task for today and make it relating to your goal. This could be something small like sending an email, recording a video, or making a phone call, or it could be bigger. Either way, one task a day is one step forward, and those steps will add up. Do what you can from where you are now. Set the intention, and the action will carry you towards your goal. Well done you for completing your daily co-create session. Have a fantastic day ahead, and I'll see you next time.